Good morning, everyone. In our last lesson, we looked at how the plague was transmitted and at the differences between epidemic, pandemic, and endemic. Today, we will look at how people reacted to the disease with the scientific knowledge they had in the 17th century. Spoiler warning, not very well. In particular, we will tackle the following points: private remedies, public remedies, and the theories of the disease. And then in the transcript, you will also find a model answer. So, most people in the 17th century believed in the so-called miasma theory, which we will look at slightly later on. According to this theory, bad smells cause disease. Straightforward. So people decided to create different kinds of strong smells to cover up the bad ones that allegedly caused the plague. One of the most widespread remedies that didn't work was the use of tobacco, and as you can see in the picture that there is in the transcript, many of the people who handled the corpses of people who died of the plague smoked pipe like there was no tomorrow because they believed that the smoke would chase away the bad smell that caused the plague. And the remedies included keeping, for example, dried up flowers inside your pockets, using perfumes in the house, burning sulfur, which is a chemical that has a very strong smell of rotten eggs, and chewing garlic. Interestingly, garlic might have actually worked at least a little. It was primarily used for its smell, but unbeknownst to them, it also has antibiotic properties. It kills bacteria, at least some of them. It might not have cured the plague, but it probably was useful to cure other diseases. Now, the plague also changed people's habits. When going to the shop, for example, many people put their coins in bowls full of vinegar to change their smell and disinfect them. Others carried lucky charms and magical amulets, which they wrongly believed that would keep them safe. Now, the remedies we discussed above were private, so they were done by individual people. They decided to put flowers in the pockets, to smoke the pipe, and so on. However, the governments of the time would also get involved, and they would try to stop the spreading of the disease. Some remedies seemingly worked, or at least they helped the confidence of the public. For example, the king in 1665 ordered the closure of most public places, like theatres, pubs and dance houses. The government also appointed some doctors that would travel from house to visit patients. They wore long beaks, wore masks that were like long beaks, which contained at the tip of the mask some dried up flowers and other smelly powders that smelled good and were thought to keep the plague away. You probably are familiar with with the picture of the plague doctor. Many people say it's medieval. It's not. It's early modern. In the Middle Ages, doctors did not dress like that. This is a 17th century thing. Other remedies were less effective. Collective prayers were organized and processions of people who travel around the city asking God to stop the outbreak. Large quantities of perfume woods and sulfur were also burned through the boroughs of London, to no effect generally. Other remedies were just counterproductive and made the disease spread faster. For example, the City of London ordered to kick out of the city or even kill all the cats and dogs who were believed to spread the plague. However, as you know by now, or you should know at least, cats catch mice, and mice were the animals that did the most to spread the plague, so killing cats might actually have made the situation worse. Another thing, this did not happen in the Middle Ages, at least not that we know of precisely. It mostly happened during the Great Plague of the 17th century. All these remedies, all these ideas of burning smelly things or chewing garlic, these sort of things, were a consequence of the theory of miasma, the idea that bad smells cause diseases. As you know, food that has gone bad smells bad and usually causes disease. If you eat rotten meat, you will not be fine. You will probably get ill. At the very least, it will be painful. Also, other things that smell bad tend to be unhygienic, for example, feces, urine, and human waste and garbage of all sorts. The reason why they smell bad is because of bacteria, now we know. These bacteria that make organic matter decompose and that are often very, very dangerous to humans. However, in the 17th century, people did not know about bacteria. Microscopes had just been invented and they did not know what to look for. Yes, you have a microscope, but who tells you that you should be looking for bacteria? It would take 200 years until, yes, pretty much 1866, pretty much 200 years exactly after the plague, before the connection between bacteria and disease was discovered and scientifically proven. So they saw that dangerous things smelled bad and that non-dangerous things usually did not smell as bad. And they drew a connection, as any of us would. Bad smell caused disease. They didn't know, of course, that this was not the case. From this misconception, which is totally understandable, as we said, all these remedies were conceived. I think that there might be a lesson in this story. Do not trust your senses to tell you the truth all the time, because the true explanation for something can sometimes be more complicated and counterintuitive than you would think. So think with your mind, not with your eyes. So those were the facts, and there is a model answer down below in the transcript, and I'm looking forward to read what you can write. See you next time.